So up next we have Team Corvid Cooler. They work closely with Misty Casley and Dr. Archie from University of Aberdeen in Nigeria. So basically what they are working on is the automatic wastewater sampler. What I appreciated about Team Corvid Cooler is mostly their resilience. Their previous prototype was stolen week 2 of the program, which was heartbreaking, and they faced numerous challenges after that. For example, the code didn't work, and things looked like they could only get worse, but they kept persevering, and they made incredible progress.
Hello, we are Team COVID Cooler. For our project, we improved a prototype for an automatic wastewater sampler that will be used to monitor changes in the prevalence of COVID in communities in Nigeria. Vaccination rates for COVID in Nigeria remain low, with just over 10% having received both doses of the vaccine and less than 1% having received a booster. In addition to this, only 2.5% of the entire population has received individual testing since the start of the pandemic. Due to these limitations, large-scale surveillance strategies are currently the most effective method in mitigating the spread of the virus. One such strategy is called wastewater-based epidemiology, which is the analysis of wastewater to determine exposure to pathogens at the population level. This method has emerged as a promising technique to monitor the changes in disease prevalence in communities, with the potential to act as an early indicator for disease outbreak. While wastewater in the United States can be sampled at water treatment facilities, similar infrastructure is not available in Nigeria, as there are just 10 treatment facilities in the country, and wastewater is not regularly sampled or tested. One way to test wastewater is by manually collecting grab samples from manholes. However, this method can be both time-consuming and inaccurate. Current automatic samplers on the market are too expensive and require a stable power supply, thereby limiting their practicality for use in Nigeria. Thus, there is a need for a solution that can automatically collect and store samples. It should be adaptable to local infrastructure and easy to assemble and use. A finalized prototype will be sent to our clients at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria for field testing.
We aim to develop a low-cost, sustainable solution that is portable, durable, and easy to use and replicate to assist with surveillance of COVID-19 and potentially other viruses in low-resource communities in Nigeria. So the previous prototype made by a senior design team is powered by a solar panel, and which is bolted on the outside of the external cooler housing, and uses a peristaltic pump to draw wastewater into a sample bag, which is stored in a styrofoam box to keep it cool. And a load cell mechanism is used to measure the volume of the sample collected. However, after examination, we found that there were many limitations to the prototype's durability, portability, security, replicability, and usability.
So here's a side-by-side image. On the left, we have the senior design team's prototype, and on the right, we have our final prototype that we created. And you can use the pump, which is identical in both devices, to scale. And as you can see, our prototype on the right is smaller than the other prototype, which is easier for security as it can now go inside the manhole, and there will not be any oversized baggage fee. Additionally, we omitted the solar panel altogether for security reasons and for downsizing. Here's a diagram of our final design. We have a plastic internal cooler instead of a styrofoam cooler, which is more durable. It is also friction fit into our outer cooler. We have a voltmeter to monitor our batteries so that the user will know when they need to be changed out. And we have a custom 3D printed housing to hold all of our user interface, our LCD screen, our buttons, and our switch. Here's another side-by-side image of the structural improvements that we made. We added a hook to keep the bag upright. We added a temperature sensor, which will verify to the user the viability of the sample. We also sealed the electronics housing to protect against any accidental spillage, and we used meaningful language and labels on our device to walk the user through the interface. Here's a quick demo of our device. As you can see, we have biohazard signs to warn the user and fend off any thieves. Here's our internal cooler that is friction fit with some instructions on it. Turn the device on. Here's our bag. Now that the battery's been checked, run the sample. So the tube just emptied. Now here's the sample going into the bag. Now the tube is being emptied again to clear it out. And now we have a timer that shows when the next sample will be taken. As you can see there on the top right, there was a switch that was pushed and the LCD screen turned off. This is a lit switch that we added to help save power so that the LCD screen turns off when no user is opening the lid. To conclude, some key accomplishments of our final prototype. It is ruggedized. It has strong containers and secured electronics. It is water resistant, and we also coated all of the electronics in silicone conformal coating. It is portable and lightweight. We used a lithium iron phosphate battery instead of a lead acid battery, which is lighter. It is secure, replicable. We made detailed assembly instructions for our collaborators in Ibadan, and it is sustainable as we will still use the solar panel to recharge our batteries in the technician's office.
Moving forward, we will transfer our prototype to our clients in Ibadan, who we will collaborate with for evaluation and refinement of the device. It will be field tested by the clients at the University of Ibadan to provide comprehensive surveillance for the safety of students, faculty, and staff over there. And further improvements for our device can be made there with our detailed documentation as a resource, and our prototype will be scaled up to eventually be used for sampling throughout the whole city. And finally, our sampler can be tested for other viruses in addition to COVID-19, so that its impact will be long-lasting even after the pandemic is no longer as dire. We would like to thank everyone above on this slide for helping us make the impact.
I'm wondering, would you please tell us how long that thing can be in the manhole taking samples before the plastic bag becomes full? And then what happens if it becomes full and somebody forgets to come and empty it out?
So our sampler has been programmed to take a specific volume so that at the end of a 24-hour cycle, we will have 1 liter in the bag. And the bags we purchased can hold about 1.25 liter. And as soon as the sample cycle has run for 24 hours, it samples once every hour. So once 24 samples have been taken, the device will wait until the user comes again. It will not restart until the user manually presses the reset button and restarts the user interface. Thank you.
The materials, are they available in the local area, and the cost?
Yes, so we have been collaborating with our clients to ask them what is available and what is not. One concern for us was 3D printing. Is that available over there? Our clients work at a design studio where they do have 3D printing, so they will be able to make the device. But that is something that they have decided to take on as their scope of using our device that we've designed and recreating it with the supplies that are available to them. We made one intentional purchasing decision. They have a website called Jumia, which is equivalent to our Amazon here in the US, and they have a cooler that is very similar to our external cooler, so we wanted to make their lives easier by having that similarity for them to use as a starting point. Additionally, you mentioned cost. The most expensive part of the previous team's prototype was their cooler. It was $100, and our cooler is now $50, so that was a main thing that we wanted to cut down on cost.
I also want to throw in, related to cost, that the overall system is approximately less than $500 compared to current automatic samplers, which are at least like $2,000.